hippies. Oh, did I hurt your little feelings calling you a hippie? Get over it. Oh, no. You know what just happened, Jared?
What?
I just scared 3 metrosexuals off the radio.
Uh-oh.
They're just like, oh, what is this? If this guy's going to hurt my feelings, I'm going to go away. I'm going to go listen to NPR. Yes, you should. If I'm going to hurt your feelings, you should definitely go listen to NPR.
If your feelings are hurt by being called a hippie, then you have a bigger problem.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, welcome back, hippies. People are like, hippies? Did he just call us hippies? I'm not a hippie. Everyone's a hippie but me. Oh. I am your host, Professor Paul Markle. I am inside of the Glass Case of Emotion Studios, located at Student of the Gun University. And if you're new, welcome. We promise to be gentle with you, at least for a short period of time. Jared, say hello so that everyone knows you are
I
there.
am Jared Markle. I am the digital mastermind of Student of the Gun. And we have fixed the problem
Yes,
that we had yesterday.
2 days ago.
Was it-
On Tuesday. It was Tuesday.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Seems like,
it wasn't our fault.
yeah.
It was the Google Cloud server that got broken. But I guess it's a good thing when you break the internet, right?
And that's not even our server.
I don't know.
I don't use Google Cloud.
It was whatever.
Yeah.
Once it leaves our hands, we can't control it. I mean, sometimes things are just out of your hands. You just do what you do, and then they're gone. I was talking about digital books and ebooks and Kindle books. I was in the hunting blind last week. I was in the hunting blind last week. I was talking to Phil, and Phil said how he has a Kindle or iPad, right? And how he has all these books loaded onto his iPad so he can read them on airplanes and what have you, and how convenient it is. And that is true. It is 100% convenient. And that's great for fiction or books that are just there to entertain you or to help you pass the time. Most of the books that I read aren't fiction books. They're not pass the time books. They're educational books like All in Fighting or Kill or Get Killed. Or I'm looking at my stack of books, Federalist Papers and so forth. And what I do, because that's the way my brain works, is when I'm reading a book like, let's say, The Five Rings by Musashi. Let me see. I've got The Five Rings by Musashi. And I open it up, and on page, there's the preface, there's about the translation, introduction, page 3, which is the first page of the Book of Earth. I've highlighted 2 things, then the next page, then the next page, and then I have notes written in the margins.
Did you know you could do that on Kindle, too?
You can write notes in the margins?
Yep. It has digital notepad and bookmarks.
What?
Yeah.
All right, well, bite me then. Okay.
But it's easier. I think it's more convenient to have a physical book
To flip in.
to actually flip through, and then you can write the notes and stuff.
Yeah,
Because I've tried the whole Kindle note thing, and it works. I mean, it's there and it works, but it's just not the same thing.
It's like, seriously, I know that I have a note-taking app on my phone, but I would really rather just grab a piece of paper and write it down.
See, for note-taking apps, I much rather prefer my phone because then I can get to it from my computer or my iPad or whatever. If I leave my notebook at the studio, I can still get to my notes from.
Yeah, I gotcha. But I think when you go through the physical process of
It helps
writing
you
it out,
remember.
it helps you remember.
Yeah.
It clarifies it in your mind. But any hooser, for all of you freaks and hippies out there that like Kindle books, well, we're doing it for you. You're welcome. We kind of drug our feet. I kind of drug my feet because I'm not a Kindle reader. I know people are, but I guess sometimes you have to realize that you're not the one that's doing it. It's other people. So
You are not your target audience.
I am not my target audience. That's absolutely correct. I am not my target audience, and I need to remember that. So, no, the Faith in the Patriot book is available on Kindle right now. The Team Honey Badger book is available on Kindle right now. The Event Security book is available on Kindle right now. And because I love you so much, I went into the back end of the Amazon thingy mabobber, and I lowered the price, and I made it so that if you buy the physical book that you get, they have this thing called Match, the Kindle Match program.
Yeah.
If you buy a physical book, then you can I think we did that for all of them. The Match program, at least all the ones that have Kindles, that you can get a discount on the Kindle book, so you can have it on your reader, and you can actually have the physical one too. Congratulations! So there you have it. We are back. In this Thursday's episode, which is the last public episode of the week, and we do have. Dude, have you seen some of the numbers, like the social media numbers lately? They exploded.
Yeah.
It's like thousands of more people. And it blows me away that people will jump into either the Gun District site or the Facebook site or the Instagram or whatever it is, whatever the social media thing. They'll inject themselves in it and they'll make a comment. And they're like, oh, I can't believe that Paul likes suppressors. Like, do what now? What? Jared, how many times have we talked about silencers on this show?
A lot.
A lot. We've explained why they're a good idea. We've gone through the whole, I'm thinking about getting one, but I don't know how. We've gone through that whole thing. And for someone to jump into a student of the gun conversation and say, wow, I didn't know that you endorsed silencers. Bros and sisters, you got to listen louder, man. And that's a crazy thing to me is how people will find us from one direction and don't know about the other direction. Like, oh, I didn't know that you had this radio thing. When did you start doing that? A couple of years ago. The great thing about doing what we're doing right now is that we have constant interaction with you. The TV show's great because it's visual and we can do things in a visual medium that you just can't do on the radio. But the fact of the matter is when we do the TV, it takes longer to put up. It takes longer to process, to edit and publish and so forth. But when we're doing the radio, we can talk to you. I can talk to you every day. You're welcome. Almost every day. And because there are so many new people listening right now, Jared, I want you to take 30 seconds and let them know how they can listen on Friday and what the grad program is all about.
Oh, okay. Go to studentgunradio.com. And you can get all the information from that website. Click on the Become a Member at the top, and there's like a little, what do they call those things? The columns?
Sidebar?
No, it's like where they have the different options. Pricing table. We'll call it a pricing table. But there's a little table there that pretty much lays out exactly what you get. But I'll give you a small overview here, a short overview. You get the bonus hour. Obviously, you get an extra hour, and it is 100% an hour. Every Friday, you get the monthly tactical tutor. This month was the one box workout for rifles, and what else they get? You get immediate access to celebrity interviews.
Well, it's the all access.
Yeah, and you get all access. If you go to studentgunradio.com and you're not signed in as a member, then you only have access to the last 50 shows. And we're on 293, I think this one is.
Yeah, episode 293.
So there's 243 that you can't get to unless you're a member. So go to Student Gun Radio. Just kind of browse there. You can get a free 30-day trial. Try it out. If you don't like it, then just cancel.
Woohoo! And you know what?
And I'm gonna. You know what?
What?
I'm gonna tell them something that they need to hear.
What?
The 30-day free trial is not going to be free for much longer. It will go up soon. It's going to be $1. So,
oh, okay.
Maybe a little bit more, but we need people to make an investment to show us that they're interested to have access to
that is
the
true.
material.
That is true.
And I learned that from a business coach because it's just something that we need to do.
Okay.
So if you want to get in on the 30-day free trial for free, then you need to go and do that now because it will be going away soon.
Well, there you go. But bump right from the kid's mouth. There you have it. All right. Thank you to Duracoat because life is too ugly to have a short gun. Nope. It's the opposite. Strike that and reverse it. Life is too short to have an ugly gun. Duracoat at Duracoat.com. No, it's actually Lauer Custom Weaponry. Now, where could I buy Duracoat products from, Jared? Could I buy it from Brownells?
Like Brownells or
Brownells.com. Yeah. That's where I can get my Frog Lube Extreme. What?
Nothing.
You can. It's a good thing. And you want to carry a gun, right? Are you carrying a gun right now? You're not? Why? oh, well, my holster's not comfortable, or it doesn't conceal well, or whatever. Stop making excuses. Buy a good holster. Wear your gun. End of story. CrossbreedHolsters.com. All right, Phil Deer story. Phil's deer story. All right, so here we are. There's 4 of us. There's Todd and Shane and Phil and me, and we're in the mule, and we leave camp Thursday morning. Friday morning? I can't remember. Friday morning.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. So we it's early. It's like the sun is just now about to rise. It's we did not get in the blinds before the sun came up, but so we're heading out. We get out of camp. We open the first gate. We go through the gate, and we're on the hunting lease, and we come up over a rise. Todd stops the mule. He goes, right there, and I saw it, and I said, "That's you, Phil." So Phil grabbed his bolt-action .308 rifle and stepped out, walked around to the front of the mule, and there is a big old mule deer buck. And he's about 70, 75 yards, maybe 80 yards away. He's like, well, when we saw him, he was about 50 yards away, and he was trotting away from us, but he kept looking over his shoulder, doing that, "What are you?" kind of giving us the eye, like, "What are you guys?" And he was doing just kind of a slow shuffle away because he wasn't really sure what we were all about. And so Phil's got he raises the rifle up, and he's standing because the bottom of the deer, he was starting to go over a hill, so his legs were obscured. You could just see his torso up, and I went, "Wah," or like, "Wah," or whatever, and he heard the noise. The deer did. He stopped, looked towards us, and gave Phil a perfect profile shot. Pow! And when the shot broke, I saw his shoulders go down, and then he disappeared. And everyone's like, "Oh, did he get away?" And my first thought was, no, he did not get away, because when he went down, a lot of times when you shoot animals, they'll like spring up in the air, they'll jump. His shoulders dipped, and I knew that he was done. So, yep, we walked down there, and there's a picture of him on Facebook if you guys want to look at it. But there's this big old muley buck, and he maybe, it was a few yards away from where he was shot. He walked over, and by the time we got up to him, he had expired. Big dude. So we were literally 30 minutes. We'd been up, and we'd been out of camp for less than 30 minutes, and Phil had his trophy buck. No, people were like, man, you gotta cover your scent, you gotta camouflage, you gotta get in the blind at 4 a.m. before the sun wakes up. We were driving down the road in a Kawasaki mule, going 4 of us, smelling like coffee and morning breakfast, and it just was the right time.
Did you have to use any of your food that you took?
No, I didn't use any of it. I was going to, but that's one of Shane's things when he goes up there is he like prepares the meals.
Oh, cool.
He cooks like he cooks this thing he calls cowboy spaghetti.
Oh.
And we had eggs and
was it good?
Chorizo or something. He's like half-ass Mexican.
Yeah.
And that's him. That's what he calls himself.
That's funny.
So he's part Mexican. So he's got this. He always cooks like this spicy chorizo or chorizo. I don't know. I'm not even pronouncing it right, but spicy sausage and spicy this.
Somebody out there's yelling that.
Yes, I'm like, it's just chorizo. Don't know you Yankee. So anyway, yeah, there we are. So Shane and Todd are like, well, crap. Well, Phil, get to gutting. So we left Phil to field dress the deer, and I took Shane and Todd and drove them to their blind, and then I came back and picked them up, and even field dressed, this sucker was still like 200 pounds. Wow. He was big and heavy. He was a big and heavy deer. I took him back to camp, strung him up. Phil started, skinning him and what have you. But hanging upside down, he was taller than me. When he was stretched out, yeah, he was taller than I am, like legs to nose. But big deer, and that's something. Then that's something that we ate. While we were there, we were eating like jalapeno and cheese, trail bologna, and spicy sausage and stuff. It was all deer sausage, as well as venison and what have you. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Living the good life.
Yeah. Shane took a white-tailed doe, and he goes, as I was sighting in, I was thinking, you're going to be jalapeno and cheese sausage. He goes, that's my jalapeno and cheese sausage right there. I have a name for you, and it's jalapeno and cheese sausage. All right, moving on. Velocity triggers. The sweetest smelling. Nope, that's not it. Velocity triggers. Superior
quality and value.
Quality and value. Thank you, Jared. I was waiting for you. Last time you kind of gave me the doe in the headlights look there. Superior quality and value. VelocityTriggers.com. SWAT Fuel. It does a body good. No. SWAT Fuel. Stronger bodies, sharper minds. Use the SWAT Fuel promo code SOTG2015. When you go to SWATFuelStore.com, you're going to save 10% off your total order, and that is righteous. It is righteous, is it not?
It is righteous.
Oh, and lastly, Century Arms, the sweetest-smelling arms manufacturer in the United States of America. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you something. I was very fortunate in that I was on the road last week, and then I went out into the woods. It wasn't really woods. It was like rolling plains. But I went out into the rolling plains of Texas, and I didn't have to read news, and I didn't have to look at Facebook, and I didn't have to do anything. I could just focus on what I wanted to focus on. So I was not inundated with all the nonsense about the Muslim missionaries in San Bernardino. And I know that you folks out there, you're probably a little bit disappointed. But as our grad program has said previously, when we had the last one in France or wherever it was, one of our very, very wise grad program people chimed in and they said, Paul doesn't need to talk about it. He's already told us what we need to know. And the fact is, I have. We've already told you what you need to know. It's the fun.
Many times.
Many times. It dumbfounds me. People are like, oh, no, what should we do? It's like, I already gave you the playbook. You already have the instructions. The fact that you don't want to follow the playbook, there's nothing I can do about that.
Here,
if you don't want to follow the instructions, don't ask.
We've got new listeners.
That is true. So, and based upon that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to address the Muslim missionary outreach program that just recently happened in San Bernardino.
And before we get too far into it, I want to go ahead and say that for you new listeners, go to PatriotFireteam.com. There's a little tab that I'm pretty sure it says freebie. Click it, and there's a free chapter from the Patriot Fire Team book that is called Defeating Terrorism in the 21st Century.
Yeah.
Go there, get that free chapter.
I don't know how many more times I have to, say, look, read this. This is it.
Yeah.
And I'm not blowing my own horn. It's like, look, folks, it dumbfounds me. Who was I talking to last night? I can't remember. Oh, I was talking to my dad. Jared, I was talking to your grandfather and about this, and I said, they'd be like Vince Lombardi going out to the quarterback and going to the quarterback and handing him the plays and saying, here you go, these are the plays, go out and execute these plays. And the quarterback saying to Lombardi, or the team, he says, nah, we're just going to make it up as we don't really want to use your plays, coach. We're gonna make up this as we go along. Like, then why did I give you this playbook? I'm just going to go over here and drink coffee. You guys just, that's what you want to do. I can just go drink coffee. All right, hit it, crazy.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Das geht an die Oma des letzten Propheten Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ich bin Allah so dankbar, ein Muslim sein zu dürfen. Das geht an die Oma, wir sind die Oma. Check das aus. Bismillah. Islam ist die Wahrheit.
Oh, Mixmaster DJ Jazzy Jared is mixing it up for you kids today. Look at him, he's over there mixing it up for you. You're welcome, freaks. Oh, and P.S., as far as hogs, and this is I did not see one wild hog.
Speaking of pigs.
Yeah, speaking of pigs.
That's funny.
No, people are like, well, what did you kill, Paul? What did you kill? I didn't see one single wild hog. It's the first time I've been on a ranch in Texas in the last 5 years and not seen a wild hog. There apparently had been some, because Todd said he had them on his trail cams, and when he leased the property, he used to see them a bunch. But and wild hogs, they will migrate sometimes, depending on the weather, depending on the food sources, what have you. So they may have just simply migrated. They went somewhere else where they get more a ready food source or what have you. But yeah, I did not get a shot on a hog. It kind of bummed me out. But all right, here we go. This is the source for this is the communistnewsnetwork.com, and the story as I'm reading it was updated 13 hours ago as I'm reading this, but by the time you hear this, it'll be over a day old. I'm sorry. Here we go. Investigators believe that the couple who gunned down 14 people last week in San Bernardino, California, planned their attack.
No.
I'm sorry, do what now? Investigators believe the couple, the goat rapists, the Muslim missionaries, representatives of the death cult, had planned their attack. Shooters, Dirk Allah, and his girlfriend, wife, Goatface, Tashish Malik, whatever, practice at gun ranges in the Los Angeles area. What? They practiced at gun ranges. So that dude in Florida who said, hey, this is a Muslim-free zone. No, you don't get to come to my gun shop. You don't get to come to my gun range. The woman, where was hers? In Arkansas or Texas? The woman who owned the range, and she said, no more Hajj, no more death cultists. You don't get to come here. They're, oh, you're an Islamophobic racist. Because that would never, shut up. They said they went to gun ranges in the Los Angeles area, said David Bowditch, assistant director for the FBI. Hey, were these turds, were they on the watch list? Were they being monitored by J. Jonah Johnson? And target practice occurred within days of the shooting. They were, quote, were radicalized and have been for quite some time, said Bowditch. The question for us, he told reporters, is how and by whom and where. The bad words just stuck in my throat and I didn't say them. It doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter by whom, and it doesn't matter where. They are members of the death cult, also known as Islam. They are death worshipers. Do you understand this? They're part of the death cult. Look across the world. Not just in Los Angeles, not just in Boston, not just in Oklahoma, not just in Texas. Jared, I'm pulling them off the top of my head, all these different death cultist attacks. No, not just in France, not just in Paris, not just in Spain, not just in England, not just in Kenya, not just in
Australia,
Indonesia, India, Mumbai. The Mumbai massacre was committed by death cultists. Hey, world, stupid. The death cult known as Islam is the greatest threat to the free world. Not just America, not just France, not just England. Get it through your head. This is just one isolated incident of workplace violence and not indicative at all of it. Shut up! If your friends, neighbors, and relatives are still saying, "Oh, we can't paint people with a broad brush. We can't hold all Muslims yes, we can. Hello. Read their death cult manual. They have a playbook that says, kill the infidel. Not just once, but lots of times. That's what they do. Wake up, idiot America. Wake up, idiot world. Sweet Buddha on a rubber raft. I swear, it's like Kevin Costner. The people that I work for, they don't have, or the people who hire me, they don't have to be convinced to save their own lives. I feel like I'm trying to convince people to save their own lives. Well, I don't know. Maybe I need... Do you need more evidence? I'm still not quite convinced that this death cult is really a problem. I mean, they're radicalized. There's some people that aren't radicalized. Hey, all the guys in Paris that walked into the theater and set off bombs and murdered people, where did they live? They lived in the community. They were sheltered by the community. These two goat rapists in San Bernardino, they lived in the community. And everyone's like, "Whoa, we got to be really super careful that we don't offend the death cultists. They might get offended." Oh, that's the worst thing we can do, is offend our enemy. Oh, Paul, come on now. I know a Muslim and they don't. Shut up. Shut up. Listen to me right now. If you're listening to me, to my voice, and you're still in the, I know a Muslim and they're nice people. Shut up. Do you get it yet? Okay, there's two kinds of Muslims. There's the extremist, radicalized Muslim who wants to cut your head off. And then there's the moderate Muslim who wants the extremist Muslim to cut your head off so they don't have to dirty their hands. And you know what? You can prove me wrong. One way. I want to see the thousands upon thousands of moderate Muslims out in the streets demonstrating against these radicalized Muslims. No, but we don't see that, do we? No. Every quote-unquote moderate Muslim, the moment that one of these incidents happens, they come out and they carry the water for them. They make the excuses. They jump on the Islamophobia. Shut up. I'm done with it. Do you want to survive as a nation, America? Do you or don't you? We already know that that Europe's gone. They're psychopaths. The people in Europe have been so cowed, they are so soft and weak and stupid that they can't even, it's like they're sharpening the knife that's going to be used to kill them. They're tying the knot on their own noose. Do you need more evidence? Muslim refugees go into France, and then the Muslim refugees murder the French people. And the president says, and the president of France, the prime minister, instead of saying, well, maybe we need to think about not letting these death cultists into our country and letting them live like amongst us. No. He says, well, despite what happened, we still have a humanitarian commitment to allow these monsters to come into our country and kill more of us. What? Think about it like this. Okay, let's say you're a farmer and you have a barn, and inside your barn you have animals and you have feed for those animals. You got big feed bins, you have grain and corn, all that stuff. And you come out to the barn one day and you go to the feed bin where you get the feed to feed your cows and horses and what have you, your goats, if you will. I mean, some people are into goats, right, Jared?
Yes.
Okay. And you find that the feed bin is full of rats, and the rats are eating the food that you feed to your animals. And the rats are bringing in diseases and threatening the lives and the health of the good animals. So what do you do with the rats, Jared? Well, unless you're a freaking lunatic, you kill them, right? You expel them out of your barn. If you're in France, what you do is you say, the rats are hungry too. We have a humanitarian duty to allow the rats to come in and live with the livestock. Well, yeah, we know that a lot of the rats carry diseases, and we know a lot of the rats don't participate, and they don't give us anything, that the rats basically just take. They're like living parasites, they're parasites. We know that they just take away and they have no productive use, but they're living things, and we have to let them. Hey, California, all of you lunatics who are listening to me in California, how did all those awesome gun laws work out for you out there? What do you mean, Paul? Didn't Mr. and Mrs. Death Cult Goat Rapist, didn't they violate a whole bunch of laws, a whole bunch of your gun laws? Well, yeah. You mean gun-free zones and the page after page after page of California firearms restrictions didn't keep you safer? No. Real quick, I got one. Hey, Jared, do you have the? You know what? I'm going to have to save it. Because we still got to do the homeroom. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. We have an update from France. I'm going to drop that into the Friday show, into the grad program hour, and I want to remember to use the French update theme. Okay? We'll do that tomorrow. All right. So follow up. So what do we have? America, if you don't get it yet, there's no getting it. And here's what I'm going to say to you. Stop trying to convince your friends and neighbors. If they don't get it yet, and then they've got, I'm looking at on the Communist News Network, they have the sidebar. The attorney for the family of the monster says that there's Christian terrorism. What? Where is this Christian terrorism? Jared, have you heard about the Christian terrorism? The Baptists running around like blowing up bombs and sawing people's heads off and holding them up for the camera? Apparently that's happening and it's not being reported.
Imagine that.
Yeah, this freaking apologist. And that, America, listen to me. If I know we're going to have monsters, I know we're going to have evil. We're always going to have evil in the world. But when people come out and make excuses for evil, when they apologize for evil, when they try and convince you that evil really isn't evil, you got a problem. And you can either fix it or you can go play fantasy football. That's your choice. I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. But here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you that we have a new feature. Well, it's not new, but we've been doing it for a few weeks now. It's called Student of the Gun Homeroom. We're doing it every single Thursday, and it's brought to you by Cap Arms, CAPARMS, and you can go to caparms.com and check out all their wares. And I did shoot the 9mm suppressed G-Lock this weekend, or last week, whatever, last weekend, and I shot the Cap Arms 147 through it. And I let Todd shoot it. He never shot a suppressed pistol before. So, yay, go team.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And they've got the promo code that they gave you guys is still available for 7 more days. So take advantage of that while you can. Go to caparms.com, use SOTG101.
SOTG101.
Yes, and you save 15% off of your entire order of ammunition.
Woo! All right, bump me in, kid.
What you gonna do when it all comes back to the place that you never wanted it to come back to? and where you gonna roll when the bottom drops out and you got no place to go. Who you gonna trust when trust is a must? You better roll with the rest of us. So pack your bags and all the faith you can, cause it's about ready to hit the fan. Comes ready. 2012, y'all about the re-election of an antichrist.
Oh, thank you, Madison Rising. Ow! Ooh! You know what I just did? I set my elbow on the table, and I smashed my elbow getting out of a monster truck this last weekend, and now I have a bruise on it.
Oh.
Yeah. But that's a completely different story. All right, spare ammo or spare gun or both. All right. Somebody recently brought up, they're like, well, you need to, spare ammo. Where's spare ammo? Spare ammo. And I'm like, spare ammo is a good thing, and there's nothing wrong with having more ammo for your primary gun. But here's what I would say is, if it came down to should I carry an extra magazine or two? Let's say you're carrying a TP9 SA. You're carrying a TP9 SA and an extra magazine, a 17-round magazine for a TP9 SA probably weighs what? 3-4 ounces? I don't know. I've never weighed one. It's relatively large and about so much. So I could carry, if it was going to carry that or carry another gun, a second gun, a spare gun, I would go for the spare gun because the magazine can't launch its own rounds. But the other gun can. Essentially, it's like Jay said, it's a reload with a gun wrapped around it. I like to say that my spare ammo has its own launching device. There's lots of reasons for that. And I know a lot of you guys out there who said, oh, man, this mag holder is really cool and so forth. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because every time I talk about second gun and so forth, we still get these comments and questions and, well, I don't know about that, or don't you think it'd be better to carry more ammo for your primary and so forth. Brothers and sisters, do what you want. I don't care. But when it comes to, you can only carry so much stuff on you, let's face it. I mean, I don't carry as much stuff in my pockets as I carried when I was a cop because I had a duty belt and it was exposed that everyone could see it, so I could carry a lot of crap. But on your everyday person, it's hard enough to carry your main gun and a phone and a flashlight and a knife and so forth without carrying lots of extra ammo and what have you. Yes, I know there's different ways to do that. But if you're going minimalist, let's say I'm wearing shorts and a T-shirt. In my shorts and a T-shirt, I can wear a Bruce Jenner commemorative, also known as a Super Tuck, and I can hide a gun real easy. I can take another gun and I can secret it on my body, generally in a front pocket, and then I can also have my other stuff. And I'm pretty much good to go. That's going to get me to a rifle. I'm able to fight my way to a rifle. I should be able to. Or make someone stop, being a bad person. But I would, if you're still in that, I don't know about this. I'm not paranoid, Paul. I'm not paranoid like you. Well, if you're not paranoid like me, you need to ask yourself, why am I carrying this gun? Am I carrying it because it's a fashion accessory? Is it man jewelry, or am I carrying it because I think that I might one day need to save my life or someone else's life? It's not always about you. Sometimes there's another good person with you, and that good person, for some strange reason, doesn't have a gun on them. So you reach into your pocket and you hand them your gun and say, okay, put your back against this wall, and if anyone but me walks into this room, shoot them, or what have you. Sometimes you just need to have a second gun. And if you're serious about it, if you're not just wearing man jewelry, am I telling you have to have one all the time? No, I'm not. But as a matter of course, I always have a second one available because it is that important. My friend Doug Hunter, many moons ago, 5, a long time ago, I remember him saying, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. And if it's so important that you need to be that you cannot be without it, you need to have a backup. That goes for guns, that goes for flashlights, that goes for comm gear, radios, whatever. You always need to have a redundancy system. Military people know that. Pilots know that. Pilots always, there's always redundancy. But think about your spare gun as your redundancy system. Okay. And that, cat in the hat, and that be that. How's that sound, Jared? Is that
Sounds
good
like a
enough?
plan.
All right, give them their homework assignment. Do not let them go before you give them their homework assignment.
Your homework assignment for today is to leave us a review on your podcasting app. I don't know what you guys use, whatever you use, leave us a review. Click the 5th star, number 5. So there's 5 stars. And then leave us a text review as well.
And don't forget all of Paul Markel's books. Is that you? Is that me? I am Paul Markel. Yeah. All the books are available either from us or from Amazon or on Kindle. Well, they're not all on Kindle, but some of them are. And if you do that, leave us a review. We want to conquer the world, and we want everyone to know. Don't be greedy. Don't hoard Student of the Gun. Share Student of the Gun. Let your friends know. And if you've gotten to this point, then you obviously are strong enough to survive. The metrosexuals and the hippies, they don't get past the first 2 minutes, do they, Jared? He's shaking his head no as he's yawning.
No, they don't.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this week for the Public Hour. Real quick, thank you to everybody who gave us very positive comments about the morning mindset. I snuck one in on you from the road. Yes, I was on the road in Texas, and it was before I went out to the field, obviously. But we snuck that morning mindset in on you, and we got such positive feedback that it is now in the hopper. It is going to happen. The actual morning mindset will happen, but not until 2016. All right, kids. Cat in a hat, and that be that. Grad program, we will talk to you tomorrow.